The war in Ukraine continues with full intensity. July 21st, 2026. A Russian soldier still trying to climb out of a pit. No idea he's already been spotted. Seconds later, a bomb dropped from a drone finds him. Russian soldiers moving by vehicle. A drone closes in before they can bail out. They try. The drone is faster. Moving fast, then a sharp turn. The operator catches movement under a tree and doubles back for a second look. A Russian soldier pressed against the trunk, trying to stay hidden. As the drone closes in, he starts circling around the tree, keeping it between them, matching every angle it takes. Doesn't buy him enough. A drone strike on an underground shelter. Minutes pass, then a soldier comes running out. The blast wasn't enough to stop him. A second drone is already moving. He doesn't cover much ground before it reaches him. An ambush drone waiting on a road. A UAZ vehicle comes into range and the operator moves immediately. The vehicle goes down hard. Soldiers scatter in every direction, each one trying to find whatever cover exists. One crawls into a pipeline, convinced the metal walls are enough. The drone follows him in. Another soldier spots an abandoned motorbike nearby, a way out if he can get it started. He's still trying when the drone finds him. Betting the dark would cover them. 4 soldiers in one vehicle, moving without lights. Never sees the drone closing in. Caught right at the back of the truck. All 4 in the same strike. Another Russian mechanized assault pushed back in the Zaporizhzhia direction. A tank moving across open ground, damaged by drone strikes mid-advance. A BMP-3 armored vehicle finished off in the same operation. The assault stops before it reaches its objective. Ukrainian Aviation delivering a GBU guided bomb strike on a Russian ammunition depot and personnel. Coordinates relayed by ground forces to the pilots. A direct hit on a supply point that was keeping Russian operations in this sector running. A Ukrainian B-2 medium-range strike drone with an 8-kilogram warhead flown fully manually. No auto-lock, no automation. The pilot manually steers around a civilian vehicle to isolate the military transport before striking it. Precision that comes from the operator, not the system. A lone soldier in an abandoned town in southern Donetsk, completely unaware of the Magyar's birds operator that has been tracking him for minutes. An FPV drone is already on its way. He picks up the sound, starts looking around, trying to locate the source. When the drone gets close enough to see, he freezes. Not running, not reaching for his weapon, not sure which to do first. The moment of hesitation is the last one he gets. Ukraine's Apache unit continuing operations across the Donetsk sector. Military vehicles, motorbikes, drone systems, fortified shelters, trench positions, all targeted in the same stretch. A methodical sweep that doesn't distinguish between what's moving and what's dug in. Everything that appears in this sector gets added to the list, and the list keeps getting worked through. A reconnaissance flight, routine, until an ATV carrying Russian soldiers comes into view on the road below. The operator pivots immediately and moves in fast. By the time the soldiers realize what's happening and try to bail from the vehicle, not everyone makes it out in time. Pokrovsk direction, still one of the most intense sectors on this front. Ukraine's Phoenix unit intercepting a Russian soldier on a motorbike with a trailer. Another supply run that doesn't complete. Another rider who chose speed over cover. Vovchansk direction. Ukraine's Falcon squad from the 57th Brigade sends a fiber-optic drone into a warehouse where a group of Russian soldiers had settled in for the night. Some wake up and try to bring it down. A precise strike follows. One soldier never wakes up at all. The night doesn't go as planned for anyone inside. Ukraine's 15th Black Forest Brigade running a coordinated strike on Khalino airfield in Kursk Oblast, a Shark reconnaissance UAV guiding a RAM-2X loitering munition directly onto the target. A Russian MiG-29 fighter jet and a Panzer S-1 air defense system, both hit in the same operation. An aircraft and the system protecting it taken out together. a soldier drives off-road into a field, trying to lose the drone behind him. The vehicle gets stuck. He bails out and runs. The operator takes the vehicle first. The soldier on foot in open ground is the easier problem, and he's not going anywhere fast. A Ukrainian MiG-29 pilot taking down a jet-powered Shahed with an R-73 missile, less than 15 degrees off angle, firing into the sun. A remarkably difficult intercept. Dobropillia direction and the hunt for Russian artillery positions continues. A Msta-B howitzer located and struck. A Hyacinth-B heavy gun, the same. A cluster of Russian ambush drones found and neutralized before activation. Vehicle numbers significantly reduced across this sector. And a BM-21 Grad caught moving along the road. Hit before it reaches any firing position, burning long after the strike. The artillery that was supposed to support Russian operations here keeps disappearing before it gets the chance. Near Rilsk, Kursk Oblast, Ukraine's REG team operating inside Russia, striking military trucks moving toward the front. Reinforcements that never arrive, supplies that never reach their destination. Positions that felt far enough from the front to move through safely, finding out otherwise. None of these vehicles complete the run. Ukraine's Signum battalion using long-range drones to strike Russian mobile fire groups in Donetsk, units specifically deployed to hunt Ukrainian drones. By hitting them first along what Russia considered safe transit routes, Signum protects its own fleet and keeps operations in this sector running without interference. The routes Russia relies on to move these groups around are no longer safe once they've been identified. Additional vehicles caught in the same sweep. The pressure on Russian logistics in Donetsk keeps building. 20 drones down in one stretch, 13 Molnias, 5 reconnaissance types like Supercam and Zala, and a Lancet mixed in. Ukraine's defense intelligence works through all of it. What makes this matter? It's not just strike drones lost, it's the eyes too. Supercam and Zala feed targeting data for everything else on this front. Take those down, and whatever was aiming through them loses its picture. An interceptor drone lifts off, closing fast on a Ukrainian strike drone mid-flight. Direct hit. Not just Ukraine using this tactic anymore. It's showing up more and more on the other side too. Kursk Oblast. Russian forces becoming increasingly active in this border region, regularly shelling Ukraine's Chernihiv region. A concealed artillery piece and a vehicle belonging to Russian Marines located and struck in the same operation. The pressure from this direction getting answered directly. A truck hidden inside a hangar, 2 artillery pieces, and a fortified dugout in the Sumy direction. All struck with fiber-optic drones in the same operation. Concealment that might have worked against standard drones doesn't hold up against a system that can't be jammed. 19 power stations in a single sweep. Yalta, Kerch, Sudak, Feodosia's outskirts spread across nearly every corner of Crimea, with more further north in Kherson, Donetsk, and Luhansk regions. Since the start of the month, that brings the total past 100. Ukraine's Magyar birds run most of this operation directly, station by station, same method each time. Here's the part that actually matters. This isn't random damage, it's the same grid hit repeatedly, faster than repair crews can realistically keep up with. Every station on this list feeds something. Homes, water pumps, military logistics, all running off the same strained network. 19 tonight, 104 since July began, and the list keeps growing. Russian fiber-optic drones striking Ukrainian fuel stations in the Zaporizhzhia region. A tactic that says something about where things stand. While Ukraine hits oil refineries, pipelines, and shadow fleet tankers deep inside Russia week after week, Russia responds by targeting roadside fuel stations. The scale tells the story. One side is dismantling an energy infrastructure. The other is hitting what it can reach. One operation, one sector, a tank, an ammunition shelter, an artillery piece, a quad bike, a generator, a communication antenna, and infantry, all struck in the same sweep in the Lyman direction. What this footage also captures is the before and after. Russian soldiers filmed in the area, then the same area after Ukraine's 3rd Corps 63rd Brigade drone operators finished working through it. The difference between the two is the whole story. Day 1609. Kostiantynivka remains the center of gravity right now. Russian forces hold roughly a third of the city after months of infiltration, but haven't managed to secure it outright, with Ukrainian counter-sabotage teams still active inside against a buildup that's reportedly grown past 140 troops. Pokrovsk, just south of it, tells a similar story. Repeated attempts to push through, no confirmed advance in weeks. In the days before this, Ukraine's own reach kept extending. A Tu-95 strategic bomber hit, 3 more Shadow Fleet tankers struck, and an FSB coordination center hit in occupied Kherson region. 8 air defense systems went down too, deep in Krasnodar region, and occupied Zaporizhzhia, Tor and Buk systems among them. And today's tally, total losses since the war began, now stand at 1,431,900. In the past 24 hours alone, 1,370 more were added to that count. Day 1609. One city holding most of the tension. The reach on both sides stretching further than the map shows.